Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Sorry for my scratchy voice. I was a little sick for 3 days, but I'm back. I'm ready to start uploading again. Today let's talk about why life is very tough and reality is very difficult as a man. The tough reality of living life as a male, a biological male, is what you're valued for. Because I'm sorry, but our society looks at men as equals to women in the sense that we should be treated the same just because we're a biological male, right? Like we look at respect and how people treat us as something that just should be given, right? Just for existing. Like we don't have to offer anything, we don't have to bring anything to the table, right? Now that's true for women, right? That way of operating is true for women in the sense that they get their value by just existing, right? Like when a woman's born, when she grows breasts and when her butt starts to develop, that's where her value is, right? Because we look at women primarily for their reproductive capabilities, right? Wide hips, big breasts, right? To nurture a baby, right? And things of that nature, right? So as a guy though, like our looks, like the only thing our looks are really a determinant of is obviously like, if you're a strong guy and you have muscle, your kids are probably going to look pretty good, right? But at the same time, as a guy, that can't be the only thing that you offer, right? As a woman, it can be, right? But as a guy, you have to offer value in the sense that you have to bring something to the table, and it goes. It's an infinite list, right? And it's different depending on like which type of women you ask, like what her interests are, what she wants, right? But I think it boils down to three things, and that's money, skill, like money, your ability to fight, and your ability to fix things. If you're good at making money, if you're good at fighting slash defending yourself slash physical fitness, and you know how to fix things and you know how to repair things when they don't work, like you're golden. As a guy, like that's literally like the magic pill for being a valuable asset in the world, right? Now, obviously, there's other things as it pertains to your personality, like your charm, your humor, your wit, right, and your social skills, right? But I think for the most part, we look at hard, tangible like things, like what can you physically do that can make my life better? Like when you have money, now obviously it's different, but when a guy has a lot of money, right, and he's able to, invest properly, he's able to run a successful business, he's really high up in his career, or a combination of all these things, that gives a woman a life to live like pretty much stress free, right? Think of how many relationships are in shambles because of financial issues, how many arguments start up because of financial problems, right? So if you're a guy and you can pretty much eliminate that problem from your relationship, right? I think that that's a sure way to make it last as it pertains to you being a competent man and making sure your women and your children are happy, healthy, and safe, right? And that's, I feel like that's obviously number one. And then when you obviously you know how to fight, like hey, like you can, if you're physically fit and you're strong, you're competent, you can fight off people who are trying to steal from you or rob you, or someone who's trying to antagonize your women or your children, right? And it's just a good thing to know how to do, whether it doesn't matter what kind of martial art it is, right? Or if you know how to use a firearm, like whatever self-defense mechanism you want, you need to have one, I think, right? You can't be a guy in life and not know how to shoot a gun or fight, right? Like that's not something you can just sweep by under the rug, right? And then, bro, like you got to know how to fix things, right? Like I'm not proficient really in anything, I'm going to be honest with you. But there's some things that like I've learned how to change a tire. I've learned how to like for example, like this one lady came in today at my job and didn't know, like her trunk kept like opening, like it wouldn't close, right? And I was able to fix it. Those are just some things, but like, obviously like the list goes on, but I think for the most part, like if you can master, well, not master, but if you can have a general uh, ability to do those three things successfully, right, for the most part, I think you're a valuable asset to society, right, or at least to women, right, if you guys want to have a relationship or whatever. But generally speaking, I just want to conclude and say, like, your value is really just determined by what you can do, man. Like, I really hate that I don't hate that it's like that, but it's just like, we were brought up to believe something else, right? And to accept something else. And I think like at the each year, like after 18, like the older I got, the more I realized, like, wow, like each year it's like, yo, people give less of a shit about you as a guy. And I hate to say that, but it's the truth. Like the older you get, the only way people are gonna care about you, or the only love you'll receive from the world, is the love that you can give to the world, right? Via your girlfriend, your wife, your children, the people you coach, the people you mentor, right? The people you can help in your community, the money you can lend to someone who needs it. Like, bro, the way men, women, and children, and anyone looks at men is your ability to do something. Like, it's crazy to me how, for the most part, like, because I work in a gas station, right? Like I run a gas station, and like customers, like obviously they need help and everything, but I work with females as well, right? And they get compliments, right? And guys will come up to them and start talking to them for like 20-30 minutes, right? And they'll start flirting, and maybe they'll ask the girl for their number. But as a guy, like, women, when they come in to a gas station, they're looking at you like, hey man, let's get this transaction like finished, or hey, like, can you help me like fix my tire? Can you help me, my car's dead, can you help me jumpstart my car? Like things like this, right? Or so and so, something isn't working in the store, can you go fix it? Like, as a guy, like, no one cares about you unless you can do something to help them. I really hate to say that, and like I said, like, this video isn't me like hating on the fact of the reality that this is how life is for men. That's not really what I'm trying, like, I'm not hating on that fact, but I really just want to make it known. So like a lot of you guys who constantly complain about like why life is so tough, or like why people are the way they are, or like why people treat you a certain way as a guy, I'm making this video because I want to give you guys the light, and I want to give you guys the truth as to why you may be experiencing like the things you experience with other people, right? And it's tough, and like I said, your life is really a determinant of your ability to provide and protect. But with that being said, that should also give you some like peace of mind as well, because like now at least like, hey, I can work on my fitness, I can work on my money, I can work on my ability to fix things, or I can learn a martial art, like I can learn firearms training, I can learn investing, I can learn marketing, I can learn sales, I can learn a trade, right? Like when you're fully competent and you fully like can do like a multitude of things, right, and you're adequate at them, that's when your women will respect you. That's when other people will want to do business with you. That's when a lot of things just fall into place, right? Like think of the guy, and then okay, so we just talked about like a competent guy. Now think of the opposite of that. Think of a guy who like can't fight. Think of a guy who's fat. Think of a guy who's like doesn't have money, or has poor eating habits, or has no ability to invest, has no knowledge of like how to fix things. Like women aren't drawn to him. Like other guys don't want to be his friends. Like other guys don't want to be his friend. Other guys don't want to like network with him, or like invite him to events or anything. Like he's like pretty much a loner, right? And obviously this is your typical guy these days, and you can't get mad at them. Like we don't have fathers that are, or elders that teach us how to be men, how to do these things, and the reality of how you have to operate in the world. We don't have that, unfortunately, like we did a few hundred years ago. But I just want to bring this to light, because I think society teaches us to be one way, or teaches us that we're supposed to be respected and valued just because we're born, and we should just be valued for who we are. That only pertains to women, guys. And if you don't believe me, like, you can just verify it for yourself in real life experiences. Like, go, I don't know, man. Like, go to a nightclub, bro. Like, you'll see like random girls. Like, they won't have to do anything. They just get approached, right? And they'll be valued. They'll be loved. They'll be adored for just existing. Like, as a guy, no girl's gonna come up to you and be like, I mean, I'm sure there's the exception where like a girl will come up to you and be like, hey, like, hey, you're pretty cute or you're attractive. Like, I've had that happen to me a few times, but is it happening as much as it is to women where guys are hitting on women and complimenting them? No, like, not even close. So I just want to make that known and kind of just free you guys from the reality of like the false reality that you're supposed to just be treated as equal as women, that you're supposed to be treated and valued for just existing. Like, that's not the case. You absolutely must bring something to the table as a guy. And life isn't supposed to, like, as a girl, like, life is kind of easy. Like, it's kind of like, and it honestly, like, I don't want to be I wouldn't want to be born as a female, because as a guy, like, knowing like that you're able to work towards something every day and your value is based off of like your achievements and your accomplishments and your competence, that's very rewarding. Like, I think of like a female, right? Like, just any random girl, like, they can self-develop all they want, but in reality, like, at the end of the day, in this physical life, their main determinant of their success, of their like joy, comes from their man and their children, right? Like, it really does. I promise you, if you ask like 9 out of 10 girls, like, hey, like, what, like, do you think like the most joy you would get in life would be like spending it with a high quality man and having like some children? I guarantee you at least 8 to 9 of them would be like, yeah, I can say that. But if you ask a guy, like even me, like, hey, like, I'll be honest with you, I love spending time with my girlfriend, right? And I can't wait to see like what our relationship like how it continues to evolve. But I think to myself, like, for a second, sometimes I'm like, wait, like, I couldn't just be with you every day and just like, like, eat cake and, cook and just like hang around. Like, yeah, obviously, like, I enjoy like, my girl loves cooking. We enjoy like watching TV and, going to parks, doing fun things together. But that's her main like goal and joy. My main goal and joy, honestly, is like learning about investing, learning how to like fight, learning how to fix things, learning how to make more money. Like, my sense of joy comes from my accomplishments and my progress towards bettering myself. So I really feel like that's like really the difference on like how, men are valued versus how like women are valued. And I think that as a guy, if you can start to adopt that mindset and adopt that way of thinking, I think you can really start to make progress in life, right? Because your life satisfaction and your life's joy and the results that you want out of life are gonna come from your ability to perform, right? All across the board. So I think when you can kind of like come to terms with that and accept that and, start taking action, the right actions based off of that mentality, I think that you'll be setting yourself up for success in the long run. So yeah, guys, that's it. That's all. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you are new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. If you guys have any questions, comments, leave them down below. And as always, I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.